Good morning, everybody. Early afternoon. It's about what 11:30 Eastern time, almost 11:30 Eastern time. 11:10, 9:08. It's only 8 going on what 8:30 in Pacific. Yeah, that's Pacific time zone is where I lived. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, so I had to adjust to being 3 hours ahead, calling my friends. Be like, "Oh, crap. That's right. It's not that time there. It's just crazy to be on the East Coast is like to be in the future, which is weird. It's just crazy, man. Everything happens earlier while the West Coast is still sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, welcome. Get in here. What's up, Lucrative? SMD before noon. Let's go. Yep. Before noon. You guys, well, those of you that follow, you guys know me. I don't really have a specific time that I go on. I just do it when I feel it. That's the wonderful thing about owning your time. You can do things when you feel like doing them. I try my best to explain this to people, explain this freedom to them, but I guess I'm just going to do it through my videos. And soon to be the most amazing t-shirts that you have ever seen in the world. There will be no other t-shirts, especially financial t-shirts. There will be no other t-shirts like SMD in the world. Believe that. The statements and questions that will be on these shirts will force unconscious slaves to ask the person who's wearing it. It will force them to ask, what does that mean? What? Because remember, and I'm going to tell you guys out loud, unconscious slaves, you guys can hear it. You won't understand it anyway. It doesn't even matter. And I want you guys that are conscious, I want you guys to hear me say what I'm about to say out loud, and unconscious slaves won't even know what I'm talking about. The purpose and the reason why they're going to be forced to ask what those statements mean on the SMD shirts is because they're mathematically blind. That's why they're going to have to ask. Unconscious slaves don't know negative numbers exist. They have no idea negative numbers exist. Even though they taught us all this in elementary school. Yes, they did. Sure did. They made us look at this graph on the wall. I remember this clear as day. It was 0 in the middle, and on the right side was always green, and the teacher said those are positive numbers. And then on the left side of the 0, it's in red. Those are called negative numbers. They go down. I remember this in school. Totally remember it, right? But for some reason during the transition out of grade school, have you noticed that? Because I specifically remember this. I used to always wonder when I got into middle school, because I enjoyed math in grade school, but when I got to middle school, everything changed for some reason. I'm like, hey, why don't we, because in grade school, you do math with money games, right? There was a lot of math money games. They would tie it to math. Hey, add $1, take away a dime equals what? $1, and you put it back, blah, blah, blah. Right out of grade school, they stopped that. And I used to always wonder, why did they stop that? That's weird. But then I moved on. You get into algebra, calculus, all the bullshit that you're never going to use in the real world unless you become a scientist. Other than that, you don't need to know any of that shit. None of it. Now, this is why, again, back to the shirt, this is why they will never see. They cannot see. This is what forces them to ask the question, because they cannot see negative numbers. It's crazy. What's up, Andre? Sal's? Those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where slaves live. Okay. There's two kinds of slaves. There's unconscious slaves and there's conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves. This is the definition of an unconscious slave. Unconscious slaves don't trust math and they don't know they don't trust math. Okay. That's a very important part. They don't even know it. And you're probably thinking, can you give me an example? Yes. People that believe they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages. Okay. All they have to do is open up the calculator app on their phone, put in the mortgage payment minus the mortgage balance and hit equal. And the calculator will clearly show them they are so far from a homeowner, their head will spin. But all they got to do is believe it. That's it. But if they don't believe the math and say, I don't care, my name is on the deed or whatever they say in their brain, they're unconscious because math is clearly showing them that they're not homeowners. And then there's conscious slaves. Conscious slaves were once unconscious, found the SMD channel, and started believing the calculator. So what they did is added up all their savings and added up all their debt and hit equal. Yes, including a mortgage, student loans, all that, tickets, back child support, IRS debt, every single item, and hit equal. They looked at the calculator and said, oh my God, that's my true net worth. Yep, sure is. That's your true net worth. All you got to do is believe it. And they said to themselves, because this is me, if I'm in a negative, that means I'm a slave. That means if I'm in a negative, that means I own nothing. Everything I see in my life, I don't even own. That's right. That's true. You don't own your house. You don't own your car. You don't own your clothes. You don't own your washer and dryer. You don't own that brand new refrigerator with the TV in it, with the touchscreen on it. You don't own shit. They said, well, I don't like that. And then at that moment, as soon as they believed the calculator, they became conscious. Then once conscious slaves are proud to call themselves conscious slaves, which is yet another thing that's going to be on shirts. You see what I'm saying? You see what's going to be on SMD t-shirts? Conscious slaves. Everybody will see that and like, what the hell does that even mean? You got to add as soon as add the word conscious. So the black people won't say, oh, what's he talking about? Slavery and all this stuff. They said they won't tie that together because you got to make sure you separate that shit. So they know they don't think you're talking about slavery, chains of the black people. No, as soon as you put the word conscious in front of it, they're like, wait a minute. What does that mean? And why is that word there in front of it? That was me. I lived in the debt matrix until the age of 40, until I woke up. Found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, take the math that you learned in elementary school, apply it to your finances, and you'll win with money. And that's what I did. And now I'm free. Good morning, Omanike. Now I'm free. Now, I didn't realize I was a slave until I freed myself. Once I got to zero and knew I didn't owe anybody on earth a dime, that's when I knew I was free. Hence, unconscious. I thought living in debt was normal. Nope, only unconscious slaves do that. Once you're over here, you'll understand that it doesn't matter a person's career. If they make 6, 7, 8 figures, it doesn't matter how much money they make. Not at all. Zero. It means nothing. If they have student loans, they're lying to you that everything in their life is not, it doesn't mathematically exist. Who cares if they know that or not? That's their problem. If you don't trust math, that's your problem. Because math is never wrong. That's what I knew. Once I was here, that's what I do. So I took what Dave Ramsey showed me, but I stripped out a couple things from what Dave Ramsey does. Dave Ramsey adds religion. Math Religion has nothing to do with mathematics, and mathematics have nothing to do with religion. Absolutely nothing. He also says, when you pay off all your debt and you get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% away for retirement. According to the laws of mathematics, you have absolutely no money to put 15% of anything away for anything at all. So when he says that, I have no idea what he means, because according to the laws of mathematics, that's 100% impossible. You cannot put away 15% of anything towards any type of thing if you have a mortgage. You cannot. If you realize something like that, what I just told you about that house, and you go ahead and pay off your house, completely pay it off, guess what? You never have rent and or mortgage again for your entire life until you're dead. Is there a better retirement than a paid off house? Imagine if you have Imagine how fast your money would stack if you didn't have rent or mortgage, which is 90% of people's biggest tab monthly expense every month, where you live. Eliminate that cost and you're rich. So I took it over here. SMD is 100% math. If you don't believe in the laws of mathematics, that's your problem. So I teach people this. Once you're over here, you'll clearly see, oh my God, money is just paper. Yeah, it's worth only 14 cents. You know that $100 bill you've been worshiping like it's a god? Yeah, they only made it for 14 cents. They just told you it's worth 100, you unconscious slave. And don't think they're tricking you and this is a conspiracy and they're doing something to you. No, it's your fault. You don't trust mathematics. It's your fault. Nobody's holding you down, holding you back, and all that bullshit. That's bullshit. Now, the title of this video, right? Because I always hear this, people say this stuff, right? And I want you guys to understand something when you hear it, because there's always the the best. And I'm gonna just come straight out to you. There's one way to listen to it as an unconscious slave, and there's a different way to listen to it when you're conscious about money. When you hear people say cash is king, you hear the slaves just saying that amongst each other, right? When you out of the debt matrix, you know what we say? King of who? King of in your world? Because when you hear people say cash is king, they're really talking about themselves. You think unconscious slaves know they believe money is king over them? How do I know this? They're saying it out loud in public. Cash is king. King of who, slave? You? Cash is not king of me. Cash is a tool. That's a hammer. It's no different than a nail gun. No different than a car. No, it's just a tool. That's like saying, "Hey man, hammer is the king." A hammer is a king over you? Something $100 bill made for 14 cents, and unconscious slaves are walking around here talking about it's king over them. That's clearly you are clearly unconscious. When you can just go straight to the government's website and clearly see how much they make that $100 bill for, and you got these unconscious slaves fanning out 14-cent bills. Thank you. You just told me everything I need to know about you. You unconscious slaves flash wads of cash. You know what I think in my mind? Why are you doing that? That makes no sense. Oh, look at all these hundreds. Well, it's not really 100. They made that for 14 cents. What are you talking about? Oh, you think. it means something. It means absolutely nothing. If you're one of the unconscious slaves that have been walking around saying cash is king, you're only saying that about yourself. You're just saying cash is king over you. Boy, click on that link. Go see for yourself. If you think I'm full of shit, go see for yourself. They're not hiding anything from you. You know how you hear all the conspiracy theories inside of the debt matrix for why finances are favoring here and the rich and the poor and the taxes and this and that. That's all stories. That's just to keep you guys busy. To keep you guys busy blaming everything outside of yourself. Just go get up and go look in the mirror and say, why do I keep saying cash is king? And then I want you to look in the mirror and say, well, maybe it's those student loans that I've been having for 20 years. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is the reason why I have to keep financing cars over and over and over again, because I can't get out of it because I'm so far upside down. Do you guys know, that those people that finance a car every 3 years and you think they're rich? No, they're not. They're stuck. And those of you that are doing it, we clearly see you. You're not tricking anybody. You're not, just because you trick unconscious slaves believing that you have money and you're financing a new car every few years just because you have it like that. No, we know you're stuck in an endless loop. You can't buy your way out. You have no money. Good credit, no money. And they're going to use you until they pick every single financial meat from your bones, and then they're going to toss you. What do you think that debt to income ratio bullshit that they made up? That's to tell you. All you got to do is pay attention to it. That's how they determine when they're going to kick you to the wolves. And those guys those guys are like piranha, man. They're going to pick you guys until you're dead. Title loan places, payday advance places, pawn shops. They're going to pick you till you're dead. If you ever did a title loan, do you know where you're at when you do a title loan of your car to get some money? You have no idea where you're at when you get to that point. Do you? You have no clue. You probably think that shit is normal. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's why you think cash is king. Cash is not king. When you believe cash is king, you're saying it's king over you, because it's showing the fuck ain't king over me. I know $100 bill is made for 14 cents. The government just told me they got it posted up there. There ain't no secret. The majority of these people, the only people that chase money are people that believe that cash is king. Those are the people that chase money. So when you hear these gurus or these financial people, hey, never sleep, always be grinding for that money. Hell no, that's the wrong direction. Nope, no, you don't. They're just telling you what they do. Those people that tell you never sleep and grind for money. No. You don't have to do none of that. No, you don't. Now, I'm not saying sit back and do nothing and be lazy, but I'm saying you don't have to be up 24 hours a day chasing money. No, you don't. You don't chase money at all. That's why it's called currency. Only unconscious slaves chase money. They worship money. They call it king. Oh, cash is king. What? And you know what you unconscious slaves know? You're about to worship another god, the digital money. You guys believing that the banks are against that and they don't want it. Can you imagine? This is what you can't see, right? Credit is all digital. Credit is cryptocurrency, slaves. You guys use it every day. That's all digital. They get to keep track of every single dollar they make of invisible money. You can't hold credit. What's credit look like? Does it come in bills? By us having paper money, they're losing out on money. Once it goes 100% digital, oh man, it's endless then. And that's gonna happen. Believe that. That's coming. You guys think they're against it. No, they're not. Credit don't even exist. Never has. And they're charging interest on money that doesn't even exist. That's man, when you get out the debt matrix, that's gonna fucking blow your head off. You're gonna be like, holy shit. Wait a minute, you're right. Credit doesn't even exist. Nope. And they're charging interest on it. Who cares how much in taxes they have to pay? Who cares? See, that's why when you get out the debt matrix, it's absolutely pointless to try to do tax evasion and tricking on your taxes and lie. Once you get out of debt matrix, you will clearly see there is no purpose for that. Absolutely no purpose of doing that. None, zero. Anybody that's doing you hear, you better stay away from them, or you sure in the fuck better not take financial advice from them. You better not. Just like the last live, they hired 87,000 IRS agents. Do you guys know before they even announced that, before anybody told me that was going, I already knew that. You know what you got? This is what you unconscious slaves don't know. When you guys get into fear, you guys can pretend all that bullshit on social media like ain't nothing happening. When you out of the debt matrix, you clearly see that it's happening. They know you're in fear, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to cheat on your fucking taxes. That's what you're going to do. That's anticipated. Because you guys already believe taxes are the reason why you're behind and you can't get financially ahead. You start to believe that nonsense. No, slaves, it's you. You guys all do the same shit. You guys all do it. Everything you'll do won't make any mathematical sense. So when they come after you, you better be ready. Taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. If they didn't force us to play, it wouldn't work, slaves. If they made it volunteer for you guys to pay your taxes, you wouldn't. Why do you think they take it out of your check before you even get a hold of it? Because you wouldn't do it right. That's why. That's why they take it before you even get it. You better stop thinking cash is king. It's not. I don't care who taught it to you. I don't care how many people on YouTube say that stupid nonsense. When you hear them say that, you got to listen differently now. You got to listen to them and say, oh, they think cash is king? Yeah, they can only be talking about themselves. Because they sure ain't talking about me or people like me. You guys think cash is king because cash doesn't exist for you, mathematically speaking. It don't matter if you believe me or not. It absolutely doesn't matter what you believe. Everything I'm saying, I can prove. Using your calculator, slave, using your calculator. You know that calculator app that you never use when you go finance a car? Guarantee you never pull up the calculator app on your phone. Guaranteed. Because if you did, you would leave the car dealership immediately, ASAP. You'd be like, what? What? hold up, just a second. You said if I finance this car for 84 months at a 29.99% interest rate and you hit equal and you see that number, you'd be like, I'm not doing that. Wait a minute. You say, okay, wait a minute. You say if I get this $300,000 house and I finance it for 30 years of my life, let me see how old I will be at that time. Saying I will have this house paid off, and it's going to take me 30. How long did it take you guys to build this house? 30 days. 30 days. Oh, okay. And you want me to pay on it for what? 30 years, and then I got to maintain it for those 30. Yeah. So in actual, let me put this in the calculator. Times 30 years, 2.55%, blah, blah, blah. And that's only if I never refinance once out of the 30 years, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Equal. Whoa. Wait a minute. So you mean that sale price that I'm seeing in the yard, the sale price for the houses, that doesn't apply to me? That doesn't apply to you. That sign, that for sale sign with the number on the house, that only applies to cash buyers. And check this out, even cash buyers ain't paying that. Actually, the sale price on our houses, that's for you unconscious slaves. People with cash don't care about what they're selling that house for. They don't care. That's not their problem. They got money. That's for you to believe you got it at that price, even though you're financing it for 30 years. That's why you believe cash is king. That's why you believe that. Because you have none. So if this is you and you've been saying it all your life, you better stop saying that out loud in public in front of people. There are people like me walking around listening, and soon you're going to be able to identify them because they're going to be wearing S&D shirts. They're going to be wearing these shirts. They're going to be like, what? Oh, what's SMD? The only channel on YouTube that even speaks like this about personal finances? That's that channel. There is no other channel like this on YouTube. Go try to find one. Guarantee you'll never find it, ever. Amazing to be able to say that, huh? Go do it. Go try it. You won't find it. You know why? Because I know. I keep saying it over and over again. I can prove everything I'm saying with mathematics. That's why I'm never wrong, ever. When you come on this side, you'll be speaking just like me. You'll be thinking, oh, hell, you wasn't speaking like you were an asshole at all. You were just speaking math. Yep, that's it. I'm not talking shit. That's why you believe cash is king, because everything in your life is an illusion. It's a mathematical illusion. You're living the American dream. What do you have to be doing to dream? You have to be sleep. Every time I dream, I'm asleep in the bed physically. I'm asleep. I would never say cash is king and wear money on my shirts and flash fan money. That ain't, you flashing 14-cent bills. That's what you're doing. If you're a person like that flashes a whole bunch of hundreds, you're flashing 14 cents bills to people like us who can see you doing it. When you do that, you're telling us everything about you, slaves. That's nothing to be proud of. I'm flashing 14-cent bills. Suck my dick. Ah, God dog it. Oh man. That's actually pretty funny. That would catch some eyes. Suck my. Now I don't want them to misunderstand what SMD means. That'd be funny though. I ain't gonna lie, that's funny. But I don't want them to misrepresent SMD. I can't have that part. I needed to say savings minus debt. because people would roll for that. They would just, I don't want to change that, but that's funny. That is funny. Jaws 2003 says, I'm glad I found this channel. Many things people are stressing out about is the pandemic. I'm not stressed at all. See what I'm saying? And I want people to understand this. I know it doesn't, I know you don't think it ties together. I know you don't think it does, but debt is stress. Debt is stress. When you don't have debt, you don't have stress. Do you hear it in my voice? Does it sound like I'm stressed in my voice? Does it sound like it? Does it sound like I'm worried about anything? Your world is different. You don't walk around saying cash is king anymore. You won't say stuff like that. Now with me telling you guys this, now I want you to go to all these YouTube channels and I want you to see how many of those people say cash is king. When you hear them saying that, they're telling you what they think cash is to them. Do you understand? They're telling you something that you need to hear. You got to realize the cash is only king to people who believe it's king. Like once you understand that they make $100 bills for 14 cents, and then you take a step back and then you look out into the world and see what people do for 14-cent bills. This is serious business, man. Somebody will kill you if you owe them $100. Somebody will kill you. In actuality, it's 14 cents. Do you understand what I mean? That's the only way I can look at things now. That's the only, and so it makes me like, oh man, that's more powerful than I think it is. Yes, it is. You better believe there's limits to what I'm going to be talking about. You better believe that. There's limits. There's points to where you go, oh yeah, I ain't talking about that. Nope. That stays the way it is. Yeah, hey, that's not me. Dreams are mysterious and lack clarity. Not a fan. SMD stop mismanaging dollars. Y'all hit the like button. What's up, Hyphy? So that's what you when you I mean, this is the glitch, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a glitch in the debt matrix so you can understand when I say glitch in the debt matrix, you can really feel what I'm saying, okay? Now I want you to, if you have one, grab $100 bill, okay? And then I want you to click on that link that I sent you, that I posted in the chat. I want you to click on that link and I want you to go see how much $100 bill is worth, or how much it costs $100 bill to be made. Okay. And then I want you to see how you feel when you look at that $100 bill. What does it feel like? What goes through your body, right? And then I want you to look back at how much it was made for. And then I want you to imagine holding 14 cents in your other hand. Better yet, why don't you go do it, right? Hold a $100 bill in one hand, and then I want you to go get a dime and 4 pennies and hold it in the other hand. I want you to look at the $100 bill, see how you feel about it. And then I want you to look at the 14 cents and see how you feel about that. And then I want you to say to yourself, it's the same thing. Exactly the same. There's no difference. That's how much they made it for. They're not hiding this from you. It's the same thing. Except people believe they say the bill is this and that. So that's what it is. I'm not against, let me make sure you guys understand something too. I'm not against how it all works. I'm not, it's amazing to me, actually. It's absolutely amazing. It's just that, oh, okay, we believe it's that. All right, cool, shit, whatever. And then once you get out of the debt matrix and you find out how much things cost, how much things, the real cost of how much things work and pay and are made and all this other stuff, you're going to be highly upset at yourself, especially when you know you finance that stuff too. Like, let me give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. They make millions of iPhones, millions of iPhones. How much you think it costs to make an iPhone if you're making millions of them? How much you think it costs Apple to make an iPhone? Just what you think? $100, 50, maybe 50. What? I know you think it's posted somewhere, and I promise you this: they're only posting what they legally have to post. Okay, please understand that. All right, it makes no difference anyway. But if you knew how much it costs to make things, millions of things, and you guys are financing them too, man. Probably is $15 to make a phone. You're making millions of phones every single year. Your cost has got to be extremely low. But if you're financing your cell phone, and if you're listening to this broadcast through a financed cell phone, you know you're making payments on a cell phone, right? That's why cash is king to you. Do I sound different through your phone? Does it would I sound the same through a paid for phone, a paid off cash phone? Would I sound any different? Nope, not at all. Mm-mm. Only slaves finance phones. That's why you think cash is king, because you're financing a cell phone. Now you got to think to yourself too. You got to think, I've been working all my life, and I'm financing a cell phone. I've never seen a title to a car. I've been working all my life, and I've never even seen a title to a car. I've never had one in my hand, ever. That's why you think cash is king. You don't have any. That's why you want it so bad, because you have no cash. You have no cash. This is why you chase it. You know that wheel? Everybody knows when they put up the hamster in the wheel. Hey, you feel like you're doing a hamster on the wheel, right? Every unconscious slave knows they are the hamster. You already know you already know you are the hamster, but nobody's told you what the wheel is. You create the wheel. They hold a hologram of dollar in front of you, and you just keep chasing it faster and faster. The more you finance stuff, that wheel becomes faster and faster. It builds. And then once you get out of debt, the wheel doesn't exist because you stopped it. Once the wheel disappears, and you clearly see that the money is a hologram. You're like, wait a minute, that looked like that was on the inside of the wheel. Nope, it was on the outside of the wheel, and it was a hologram. You want to keep walking around here calling cash is king and credit score is all that. It all ties together. Neither one of them. You don't worship any. If you're worshiping credit, you're the same as a person worshiping cash. There is no different, slave. They have you guys fighting over which one's better, credit or cash. Why are you comparing the two? They have nothing to do with each other. Nothing. One's invisible and one's 14 cents paper. What are you talking about? What versus what? They keep you guys busy doing that dumb shit. You tired of being that person doing that? Fighting over buying versus leasing, cash or which is better, cash is over credit, all that stupid nonsense. Now I know that, hey, to be fair to you guys, I know it's very difficult to go through the waters on YouTube and figure out which financial channel is telling you the truth. It's very difficult. Oh, this guy knows about investing. This lady knows, she has this many years. She's a financial guru. She worked at this place. Hey, that none of that means nothing. That don't mean anything. Titles, job, years at the job. Nope. All you need to listen to is the math. Is their math making sense? No? Then whatever they're saying is a lie. It's not true. Not mathematically true. Somebody tells you, because the majority of these financial channels, now listen closely because so you guys can understand. The majority of these financial channels tell you that you can invest while you have student loan debt. All you got to do is pull out your calculator, enter the numbers, and clearly see that that's not true. No, you can't. You can't invest while you have student loan debt. You can't buy a house. You can't buy a car. You can't go on vacation. You can't do none of that if you have student loan debt, according to the mathematics. So when you go to these channels, open up the calculator and do what I say and just say to yourself, that's not true. Exactly. It's not true. Those people, those type of channels, they have what I call FCD, financial cognitive dissonance. Look up the definition for cognitive dissonance and then add the word financial in front of it, because it's not in the dictionary. I just invented it. What does it mean? What it means is believing financial information that is not mathematically true. That's the definition for it. Believing financial information that is not mathematically true. If you believe you can invest in cryptocurrency while having 20-year-old student loan debt, you have FCD. You are doing something that you clearly cannot do according to the laws of mathematics, but you're choosing not to believe it. So whatever. You have FCD. Only people with FCD do that. So when you go to these channels, and any of those channels that tell you that you can invest while having student loan debt, that channel has FCD, because what they're saying is not mathematically true. That is 100% impossible. You're going to be shocked. Say like you have an accountant, okay, that has had a successful business for 20 years, right? Okay. And then you go up to your accountant and you say, "Hey, accountant, do you have your student loan debt?" If that accountant says yes, your accountant has FCD. So everything you see that accountant, obviously your accountant does, is missing something, a huge piece of the puzzle, keeping student loans for 20 years. Ain't that funny? You can look up financial cognitive dissonance. There is no definition for it, but I'm showing you that it's real. If you believe you're a homeowner with a 30-year mortgage, you have FCD. If you believe you got a great deal on a car after financing it for 84 months, you have FCD. That's what you have. And if you have FCD, that's the reason why you're saying cash is king. That's a symptom of FCD. Cash is king. Cash is better than. Oh, hey, well, you have FCD because cash ain't king over me. I'm gonna put a link in here if you guys got some. Maybe you're a person that has been saying cash is king. Maybe I just reached you today. Maybe I just opened your eyes to something because I know you guys are out there. I know you guys are. Yeah, I'm sure you're saying things like this, and don't be shocked, okay? Because it's obvious, right? Man, nobody's ever told me like that before. I never saw it that way. Man, nobody's ever told me to look at it that way. I know. I know that. It probably got your mind just wondering, "Oh my God, well, I didn't know that you're not supposed to finance a car. Wait a minute. If I don't have the money for the car, that means I don't have the money for the taxes. So that means I'm financing taxes too. Yeah, yeah, you're doing that too. Yeah. All these things are gonna be coming to your mind. Then you're gonna start looking at your parents. Hey, mom, dad, you guys still got your student loans? They're gonna say, "Yep, we sure do," like it's normal. So guess what? If you went out and did the same thing and you had student loan debt, they would look at it. Oh yeah, that's just normal. Everybody has it. No, they don't. Only slaves have student loan debt. Go to college for 4 years and keep their student loans for the rest of their life. Only slaves do that. Only a slave will think that. Do you guys put it this way, you guys? I know you don't know this, okay? And I'm just telling you this, okay? Because it just makes sense. If you go to the bank asking for a mortgage and your student loans are older than your children, they're going to financially abuse you because you have FCD and you don't know you have FCD. You don't know that you cannot buy a house with student loan debt. You can't. You don't know that you're not supposed to keep your student loans for 20 years. You don't know that. You have FCD. And then you come ask the bank for more money than all your debt. And then you say you're going to take them, you promise that you're going to pay them back or whatever you're promising them in that paperwork. They already know you're never going to own that house because why? You never even paid off your student loan debt. So they're going to financially abuse you because you have FCD. If you need down payment assistance on your subprime mortgage with student loan debt older than your children, you have FCD and they're going to financially abuse you. And don't worry about it, those you guys that are in it now, you guys that have FHA mortgages. That's why you believe cash is king because you have a FHA mortgage. Only unconscious slaves get subprime mortgages. FHA mortgage, VA mortgage, first time home buyer mortgage, all those type of mortgage, those are for slaves. If you believe, as a matter of fact, if you believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage, even if you had the best mortgage in the United States of America and you believe you're a homeowner with the best mortgage in the United States of America, you have FCD because that's not true. But I hate to tell you this. I hate to tell you this. If you believe you're a homeowner with a subprime mortgage, you have a bad case of FCD. You have a real bad case. At least the person with the best mortgage in the United States of America has a slight case, but a person like that would get that kind of loan, they would know they're not a homeowner until they pay the shit off. Okay, they would have to just know that information. But just in case if one thinks they are, They have a light case of it. But if you believe you are with a subprime mortgage, I guarantee you, you're a person walking around talking about credit is king or cash is king. Either one, it doesn't matter which one you say. It doesn't matter. If you believe either one of them is king over the other, you have FCD. Yes, most definitely. That's going to be a shirt for sure. Believe that. Now, if this is you, again, if this is you in the background and I'm opening your eyes up, hey, great. Let me put this up here. So here's my website. And don't forget to hit that like button. And there is, whoop, no, not that. There's my Cash App. All right. Now, I get a lot of people saying, hey, man, you know, you've helped me a lot. I wanted to give something. There it is. And I appreciate it. Those of you that do that, especially the ones out of the blue, watch one of my videos and it changes their lives, and then they just have to send me something. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am actually here to SMD is here to help you, to help you own yourself, to help you stop saying things like credit is king, cash is king, things of that nature, to help you stop saying stuff like that. Only unconscious slaves believe that. This is to help you come out of the debt matrix and just be part of it, but in a different way, because the debt matrix is needed. I need you guys to clearly understand something. The debt matrix is needed. Without them, without unconscious slaves, the economy couldn't exist. It just couldn't. Because the way it runs, so what will help you remove your feelings from it? People are in the debt matrix by choice. They're choosing to be there, by choosing to not trust mathematics. That's all. When it comes to their money, that's all. That'll help you remove your feelings, because when you come across your family members, you come out of the debt matrix and you try to help your family and friends and all that stuff. Hey, you're just gonna have to let it go. But if you come out of the debt matrix and you have young children, you still control their minds. When you raise them up in your family, when you raise them up, they will know that financing anything is out of the question. Absolutely out of the question. Nothing. Financing won't even be part of their lives. They won't even understand it. When they get out in the real world, they're going to think it's weird that people finance everything. They're going to be like, what? They're going to be like, credit score? What's that? What's a credit score? What do you use that for? Because they're not going to know anything about. No, they're going to know how to use that tool. Never, I take that back. They're going to know how to use it, but they're going to be using it in a different way. And so, but when they hear slaves use the credit tool, they're going to think that's weird. They'd be like, why would you use credit that way? You're making monthly payments on the credit card. Why would you do that? That means you're paying interest if you do that, right? Yeah, but that's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. What's up, Greek surgeon?
Peace to the gods and the goddesses.
Hey, how you doing, man?
All right, man. I just wanted to say you definitely opened my eyes. I talked to you about maybe 6-7 months ago about my car. I was financing. I'm still financing it, but
give me a refresher. Give me a refresher. What you mean?
Oh well, I bought a car back in not bought. Let me rephrase that. I financed the car.
Good. I like that.
Back in 2018, and the interest rate, it was what, three? I think it was like 3.4 or 5 or something like that through a credit union. And I paid, the car was 12,002, I think. And now I'm down like $4,000. So I'm working hard to try to pay this crap off, so I won't have that anymore.
Okay. All right. And how long has it been since you paid from that much to where you at today? How long has it taken you?
Uh, I would say what, 3 years now. And I didn't realize it until January when I first talked to you. So I was like, oh
Okay.
my God. So I said, this year, I'm done with this. I'm working my ass off to get this paid off.
So
I
what did it, so tell me this. What did I say to make you do that? What was it I said that made you do that?
I realized I wasn't using mathematics,
Okay.
the most basic thing you get in school.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yep.
was
That's
like,
right. You're exactly right. It's
and I
it's almost embarrassing. It makes you upset that that's all the math we needed to use. That's
oh
it.
my good. When I first got on with you, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, this is it was like such. I was so quiet, and it was like it was starting to turn in my head, like, oh my goodness, I am a slave.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
No,
now I'm
man,
a
I
conscious
like hearing
slave.
stories like yours. I do.
Now I'm a conscious slave, so I can get out of this. I've went through my finances with a fine tooth comb. Oh,
Mm.
20 grand all together. I'm gonna try to get this paid off as quickly as possible so I can be free and never
Mm.
finance anything ever again.
Right. Right. You're right. And you naturally, I don't know if you have any kids or anything, but
No, no.
if I had known this information, I would have naturally transferred this to my children. Naturally.
Yeah. Children definitely need to know this stuff
Hmm. Oh
because
yeah.
slaves are being created every day.
Every day. Kids are the ones that can see because they're not far out of grade school. So they can catch on it real quick, right? They'll be like, wait a minute. That's the math that we learned in Miss So-and-so's class back in, because it's that fresh in their brains still.
Yeah, and you helped me realize something. Nobody ever thinks about a negative number. So,
Nope.
so when you leave school, you never think about a negative number.
Mm-mm. That's part of the
Everything is,
program.
oh, it gotta go up. It has to be a positive number, even though you're looking at a negative number.
Correct. Correct. Like when I tell people the reason why what makes them unconscious is because they're mathematically blind. It's true, right? Think about it. It's true. They don't know it's true. That's the psychological part behind it.
Yeah, I just want to hop on and thank you. I'm on the path to freedom.
All right, man. So is your car your last thing? Is that it?
Well, I do have a credit card that I had. It was like 12 grand,
Okay.
and but it went in default, so
Okay.
I
Don't
can,
worry about it. If you'll be able to do, there's certain ways of doing certain things, man. But as long as you
right.
got a plan,
Yep.
and it's like I said, if you need a plan, you can just reach out to me and I'll help accelerate your process. But if as long as you're on the right path, and I can just hear the way you're talking, you're on the right path, man. You'll never regret it. You're gonna thank me for the rest of your life, man.
I just when I realized you get rid of all your debt and you just go to work, your money just stack up.
Yep.
Probably like you said, um your biggest expense is your live, rent
Mm-hmm.
or mortgage.
Yep.
You get rid of that. Oh my God, the
Oh my
sky's the
God.
limit.
Right? Can you imagine? Just imagine your rent going into your savings account every month. That's what
Oh,
that's what it feel like.
oh my goodness. Can you? Oh my, man,
Nobody could
that's
tell you nothing. Nobody could tell you nothing. Nothing. You wouldn't care what anybody has. You'd be like, well, I don't got no rent. What about you? No, nobody will be able to say yes, no matter how much money they made.
man. I can't wait to get to that point.
Hmm. Oh, I ain't even there yet, but I can't wait. I'm on my way. Believe that. And I'm 51. You better believe I'm gonna feel that feeling. Believe that.
Oh yeah, I'm 43. I'll be 44 this year. I'm by the time I'm 50, I want to be free, have my own house, and paid off
Yeah, I woke up at your
everything.
age. I woke up around 42. 42, something like that. That's when I woke up too.
Man, well,
Hmm.
it's never too late.
Never too late. No, that actually, man, I think 40 is like the bare minimum time to wake up. That's like if you don't wake up by 40, you're gonna be in trouble.
And it's funny because my background, I come from a poor background. Nobody really knows about money.
Right.
And I just knew in my 30s, it's just like something's off here. I couldn't figure out what it was.
That was me. That was me, man. That was me. I was the same thing. I was the same. I was like, man, no matter how many jobs, raises I get, I'm still in the same situation. I just couldn't figure it out.
Yep. I done had numerous of jobs. I'm like, man, it's like I don't care how much I get paid. It's like, why am I still in the same position?
Yep, that was me. That was me, man. And I mean, the only way I woke up, man, the only way I try to tell, I mean, I'm sure you guys heard the story, but I just refused to accept that I just worked until I retired and died. I just refused to accept that. Then things started changing for me at that time.
Yeah, I realized like with Rich Dad, because I read his book, and that's what kind of was waking me up. But then I kept listening to his material, but I'm like, it's something missing. He's not telling me, and I knew that.
Who you said that? Who you talking about?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was something. It was missing. Him telling me. I was like, I couldn't put my finger on it.
Right. You know what's so crazy about when you get out of the debt matrix and you listen to Robert Kiyosaki, you know who he's talking to. He's not talking to unconscious slaves. He's talking to people with money. But unconscious slaves don't know. He's not talking to people with student loans and car payments that's behind on their credit card payments. He's not talking to those people, but they don't know that.
Exactly. And that and I had to that's one of the things we kept getting. I'm like, wait, he's telling me like invest in real estate, but how do I get real estate when I don't have any money? My credit is bad. How do I do this?
Exactly. You're exactly right, man. It's weird when you get out of it and you hear him speak. You're like, oh shit, he's not talking to people in debt. He's talking, he's like, because you'll hear people, you'll hear unconscious slaves say, well, Robert Kiyosaki, he uses debt to buy real estate. Yeah, but he's talking about business. He's not talking about personal debt. He's talking about business debt. And they think it's the same. That's what's so crazy, man.
And he said something that really stuck with me, and it started to come together when he said you got to take care of your past before you can think about your future. And I was like,
I did not see that. I did not see that.
I was like, that makes a whole lot of sense. You got to get rid of whoever you owe or whatever you owe.
But see how he says it, but without really saying it.
Yep.
What he's really saying is that you got to get out of debt before you can hear what I'm talking about.
Yep, exactly. And once it clicked, once I listened to you and thought about what he said, it all clicked. I was like, that's what he meant.
I think, honestly, I think they don't like when you hear me talk about things like that on the channel, you got to remember, and this is serious too. Unconscious slaves, they can't hear what I'm saying. They really can't.
One ear and out the other. They like
one ear out the other. They just don't believe. They say, yes, I can. I'm doing it now. I own a house and I have student loan debt. They don't even know what they're saying. Don't even know. So they can't hear what I'm saying. That's why I think the rich people, they don't really, that's why they don't even say it, because it doesn't matter, because they won't hear it. And plus that would be bad for business, right? You don't want the majority even knowing what I'm saying, right?
Right.
That cannot happen.
Yeah, business are going to the ground.
Oh yeah,
everybody woke up.
Everything would crash. If they figured out, if unconscious slaves knew how bad it was financing cars, all car lots would go out of business.
Yep. People don't realize every signature you write down creates money, or so-called money.
Well, what they're doing is that this is what their signature means. They don't know this. I promise my future earnings that I haven't even earned yet to you.
Yep.
They haven't even earned the money yet.
I pledge to be your slave.
Promised to somebody.
That's what they're signing. I pledge to be your slave.
See what Andre's saying right here? He knows, Robert Kiyosaki knows he can't say that directly, because that's not good for, that would be bad for business. And I get it. I totally understand it. I get it. All right, cool. Slaves gotta the only way to make money, you got to help them dream or whatever, right? And he's honestly really helping people, but he's really helping people with money. Understand?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just want to thank you, LJ, man. I even though I'm working lousy jobs, I know it'll get better. Something better is coming.
You know, and I appreciate you coming up here and sharing it with me. And don't just, I mean, whatever don't even look at the job like that. Just look at the job as the tool that you're using to free yourself, right? That's going to help you get through those days that you don't want to work and work for that place. Just say, man, this is the hammer that I need to use to chip away at this debt. And then once you're free, you won't have to worry about lousy jobs no more, because you're going to work where you like working.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to thank you.
You're welcome, man. And I appreciate you sharing the story, man. Thank you.
One quick thing, is your website down? Because I tried to go to your website.
SavingsMinusDebt.com?
Yeah.
It should not be, but let me go check. No, you just never know. No, it's up. I just went to it.
Oh, okay. Maybe something on my computer.
Did you miss the S? Savings minus debt?
No, it's there. Yeah, it's there.
Let's just test it right now. Can you guys get to the website? Let's just check right now, make sure it ain't cached on my box or something, you know. Can you guys if you guys can get to the website, if you can, put in a 1 to see if it's just his computer. Yeah. And you know, I clearly understand that's bad for business for sure. So okay, so hopefully they'll come back and let me know. But I can get to it from let me go in my other browser just in case. Let me make sure it's not cached in this browser. 1 second. No, I'm getting to it.
Okay. It might be a setting on my browser or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I am getting to it. All right, sir.
All right. Well, thank you.
You are welcome, man, and keep doing what you're doing, man. And like I said, if you need a blueprint, reach out at any time, man. We'll get it done.
Roger that.
Okay.
All right. See you later.
Later. All right, cool. All right, is there any more other questions, man? If you guys I'm pumped about these shirts, man. And they ain't even made yet. Okay. And I'm excited about it. You guys don't even understand what these SMD shirts are going to change. They're gonna, man, I can just see it already. I can see it. I'm so excited about it, and it hasn't even happened yet. I just hope you guys, whoever buys them, man, I'm telling you, you guys better be ready for the questions, because the questions are going to be coming. What's that mean? Why is that? Huh? What you mean I'm not? You know? Oh, you can't reach it, Andre? Okay, wait a minute. Everybody else is reaching it, but you're not reaching it. I don't know what the IP is. How can I find the IP? I don't know. I don't know how to find the IP. I think I would have to log into my service and all that stuff. Not a big deal. I don't worry about it right now. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other stories? Any other eye-opening moments? Maybe one of my videos opened your eyes and you want to share something with me. Maybe hearing what this channel's been telling you. Maybe you've been listening out into the debt matrix differently now when it comes to money. Maybe you're listening to the people around you a little different to what they're saying. Are they looking at their phone saying, hey, I'm not answering that phone? Probably a bill collector. If they're saying that, you know they're a slave, because only slaves run from bill collectors. Bill collectors come after people that don't pay their debts. That's who they come after. That's who they come after. Is that you? That's a sign. If you got bill collectors after you right now, that's a very bad sign. That's a bad, bad sign that you are in deep, deep debt. It might not even be deep debt, because usually what I'm finding right now, people with higher education are in the deepest of debt. Higher education and good credit, they're in the deepest of debt. People with bad credit and no college education are usually in the least amount of debt. They don't know what people with bad credit and no college education mean. Not always equal and low and paying job, but it just, I don't know, society says that or whatever, right? They're closer to zero than the highly educated people that are deep in student loan debt. See, people with bad credit and no college debt, you guys don't know that you are financially ahead of people that are usually highly educated, but so deep in the debt and their eyeballs in debt, they don't even believe they'll ever pay off their student loan debt. See, you guys don't know that, because you just believe that credit's everything and it means everything, that you ain't shit if you don't have it. That is not true. Credit is a tool. Credit is a lawnmower. Credit is a weed eater. Money is a tool. Money's the hammer. Hey, I need this piece of paper to buy that item at this store. I need this piece of paper to put in that machine so I can pay for these things that I'm buying at Walmart. That's it. That's what it is. Walmart says, I accept that green piece of paper for that many items. Okay, here you go. I feed it into the machine. It says, okay, you can have the stuff. All right, cool. That's it. So just so you guys help you understand, I just came up with this like last week. I mean, not the t-shirts idea, just the statements that I will be putting on the t-shirts, right? That's a it's almost like a uh I don't know, it just came to me, right? So what I'm doing is, I have my youngest son, he's already in the game of doing HWPO. He's like, hard work pays off. You can look him up, HWPO, on Instagram. You'll see him, light-skinned pretty boy. HW. So he's already into shirts and jerseys and all this other stuff right now. So he knows how to do all that stuff. But right now he's in Hawaii. As soon as he gets back, he's going to tell me what I need to do, how I want to do it, and then we're just going to go from there. But this is accelerated. I'm on it, right? This is not maybe I'm just talking shit. No, I'm about to do these shirts, because these shirts are going to change the personal finance game forever, right? So I mean, this is going to draw so many people to SMD. These shirts alone are going to draw so many people to SMD. It's going to be, your head's going to spin. You watch. Hmm. Xfinity, sir. Well, I don't. Are you talking about your Xfinity? Because I don't have Xfinity. Microsoft Edge worked, but Internet Explorer did not work. That is not good. I have to get that fixed, because that's a problem. I'll talk to my guy and make sure this is what's going on, because I don't really understand all the inner workings in that stuff. Nor do I, nor do I want to. I'm tired. I've been in computers for 20 years, man. I don't even want to. I know it sounds crazy. I know it does, but I just don't even want to be bothering with that stuff anymore, man. Because trust me, you guys that are, you hear the acronyms and stuff. I understand what Andre's saying, okay, but I just don't want to go do it. They're probably thinking, what's a DNS server? It's a domain name server, something like that. What it does is resolve IPs to names. Okay, that's what he means. So it's maybe something's not translating right, because when everything has an IP address. Like, look at it as like your what's that? Your ISDN on your phone, or no, I'm saying that wrong. I'm using a different acronym. But you guys know what I mean. That number that's tied to your phone. Without that number, every number like that is unique to reach you, right? So it needs sometimes, well, in websites, it needs to translate, because you can't, if we gave IP addresses instead of names to people, will never remember them, right? So that's what it does. It translates. All right. Well, we're gonna end this then. All right, people. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I appreciate you. Like I said, I am working on the shirts. That is happening. Those shirts are happening. Okay. I'm just trying. I want to make sure. I want to make sure I just want to make sure they look good right out the gate. All right. I just don't want to mess around. I want people wearing these. I want them to say they're high quality. I earned you guys trust so far to follow me on this channel. I'm gonna earn your trust when it comes to quality product, delivery time, everything. Right. That's just me. Because I already know what these shirts are going to do in my mind. I already have it in my mind already. That's the best way I can explain that part. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. I will work on the website, have somebody look at that, because that's a problem. All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. Have a good one.